Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Well, now I've got you here. Here's an unpopular opinion. Photos don't need to tell a story. And in most cases, stories told by a photo is just a byproduct of a visually appealing photo. You've been sold a lie. You've been told countless times from numerous people that street photography photos need to tell a story, and that is far from the truth. Hear me out. Considering most photos don't have context, and by context I mean a detailed written account of the events that took place while that photo was taken, then the story of that photo will be purely subjective and speculative. So if a photo evokes an emotional response from you and therefore a made up story, great. But here's the thing. Before a story, a photo needs to be visually appealing, otherwise you're not going to stick around long enough to even care about a potential story. I can guarantee the thing that struck a nerve for that photographer to press that shutter wasn't the potential story, but they were visually appealed to what they were looking at, and they had a physical response to something they saw visually pleasing or even displeasing. So in most cases, a story is a byproduct to the visual aspect of a photo. So if the photo is visually appealing to the viewer, they're more likely to stick around and stay for the interpretation of a story. I really hope this is making sense so far. And that's my point. A photo may not even have a story in the first place. It can just be visually aesthetic and pleasing to the viewer's eye. There's a photo of urban architecture that contains symmetry, geometric patterns, light and shadow, and maybe a human element walking past just for scale references. Does that need to tell a story, or can it just be physically pleasing to an eye and just shut off your brain for a bit and allow you to relax? You don't want to be thinking of the story like, where did that person come from? He probably just finished work and got fired and he's got a nagging wife at home. No, it's simply just relaxing and visually appealing to your eyeball. Some photos can just be there to relax the brain, shut off, and just enjoy what you're looking at without complex interpretations of a story. There doesn't need to be some crazy story attached to it. So often I'll hear commentators, when they're narrating a photo, come up with this whole complex story like, this photo was intended on telling the story of a duck with its ducklings blowing in the wind, with the couple in the foreground just kissing, completely oblivious to the ducks that are about to get hit by that bus that is not in frame yet, but I can see there's a bus that is going to come in frame. And then the person in the far background, he sees the oblivious couple and he's running after the ducks so they don't get splattered. And he's about to approach a couple with assertiveness and dominance, but that's after he rescues the poor ducklings from being blown in the wind. Like, it's not that deep, bro. The photo wasn't that deep, bro. In that story of the ducklings being blown by the wind, it was most likely a good luck coincidence, and the photographer was actually just attracted to the couple kissing, and the whole background was a coincidence. Now, if the viewer sees a potential story in that, great, but the story was a byproduct of the image. The story didn't come first, the image come first, and then the story. It's like the duck or the egg. Now, I'm not saying this is the case for every photo, and I'm sure there are many photos that were intended on telling a story, but let me just reiterate, it's not that deep, bro. Most photos are coincidences, good luck coincidences, selected out of thousands of photos taken from that day, and there was one keeper. One keeper out of thousands of photos. The only story that came from all those photos was your inability to tell a story when taking a photo, because it's hard. Anyway, I really hope this video didn't strike a nerve, and yeah, I hope it didn't sound too harsh. And let me just say, this is just my take on it. There are thousands of takes on this category, probably not thousands. I'll always push the fact that everyone has an opinion, just like in asshole, everyone has an opinion, or something like that, something about assholes and opinion. Yeah, can't remember how the quote goes, but you get it. My opinion isn't worth more than someone else's. More people may agree with my opinion, doesn't make someone else's opinion worth less, because it is all subjectiveness and there is no objective truth when it comes to opinions of street photography. If my opinion was objective, it wouldn't be called an opinion, it would be called a statement of fact. So yes, just an opinion. There's no right or wrong way to do street photography. I'm just fed up with people putting so much damn pressure on themselves when doing street photography. Can't it just be simple and fun like it was at the start? Can't we just all like bake a cake like we used to do in high school? Or what that girl on the table in Mean Girls said?
She doesn't even go here.
Can't we just do that? Can't we just strip everything back to the basic fundamentals, and go out and have fun and take photos of strangers like the creep that we all are. We're all creeps. We're all in this together, okay? Can't we just strip everything back and go out there and have fun? Wow, that was really powerful. This video is more just to reduce stress and just to remind you that you don't need to have a story attached to every photo. Just enjoy what you're doing, enjoy street photography. The less pressure you put on yourself, the better, and maybe the more keepers you can get at the end of the day. And everyone lived happily ever after. The end. Good night, guys. Go to bed.